Hi guys, how are we doing today? I have another Black 2 White 2 battle for you, and I had a stream earlier yesterday, so I got some good games, I guess, in. So have a bit more upload material, so things should be looking a bit better from here on out. But yeah, I have this game where we're both using Dittos here. Ditto seems to be very popular right now because it's been released, obviously, and it's a very interesting Pokemon. It does lots of interesting things, and by lots of interesting things, I mean one specific interesting thing, and it causes problems for many people. And I don't know what the fate of Ditto shall be, but we'll find out eventually. We'll see. Anyway, we've got Cobalion versus a Zelf lead, and I'm kind of just a lead Cobalion with Taunt and Stealth Rock and all that good stuff. And I kind of expected his Azelf to outspeed me because I had another game where it was Cobalion versus Azelf and the Azelf outsped me. So I thought, well, it's probably going to be able to get rocks up before I taunt it. Unfortunately for me, he's actually able to get up rocks after I've Thunder Waved him, which was kind of annoying. And I do get my own rocks up, however. So I've crippled his Elf and I've got rocks up, but in the process I'm actually going to lose my Cobalion to Life Orb Flamethrower, which kind of sucks. I thought I might be able to live it just because it's unstabbed and, it's Flamethrower, not Fire Blast. But apparently my special defense isn't good enough, so I'm going to go out into my Ditto and transform into his Azelf. Now, Ditto obviously has the ability Imposter, which means you can transform into your opponent and not only copy their stats, their nature, their everything, but if you're carrying a Choice Scarf, like most smart people do, you will pretty much be guaranteed to outspeed them as well. So what I do is go for the Thunderbolt because his set was Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, and like Psychic and Stealth Rock or something like that. So I just went for the T-Bolt thinking it would be the best thing to go for neutrally against the Azelf, and he decides to go to Nidoking. So that kind of sucks. I don't really have a safe switch into this thing, and I kind of have to go to Amoonguss just for the sake of it because I don't really want to switch anything in on Nidoking right now. So that's what happens. I go to Amoonguss and I switch straight back out. Obviously Amoonguss has Regenerator now, so that's going to be fine. I'm going to come back in and have okay health when I come back, so it is worth saving Amoonguss. Go to Azumarill just to take the Fire Blast, and this is a defensively built Azumarill, which has Sap Sipper. It's one that Fizz made. I think it's similar to his set. I'm not sure if it's exactly the same, but it's similar. And I have Knockoff and other such stuff like that, but I think I could live in Earth Power. I'm kind of unsure as to whether I will or not, just because it is stab and it is just neutral on me right now. I do live with 14. I'm able to knock off his Life Orb, so kind of a bit of just damage control going on here because he's kind of wrecking my team right now with this Nidoking. And I have Aqua Jet on this thing. I don't think I really should carry Aqua Jet because without huge power, it just doesn't carry a punch at all. It just does not hit hard. As you can see, it does hardly anything to the Nidoking, so I might want to change that to Waterfall or something, but I guess it's nice to have a little bit of damage with Aqua Jet anyway. Allows me to go into my Ditto again, and once again, I will transform straight into his Nidoking, and obviously, I will be able to outspeed him because I have the Choice Scarf. So, I have a couple of options here. He obviously has a very wide-ranging set. The sort of special Nidoking always is very variable in its move pool, and so you can kind of do whatever you like with it. I decided to go for the Ice Beam just because it is obviously going to be super effective on the Nidoking, and if he does decide to go into something with Levitate, like a Zelf here, I am going to be able to kill that thing as well. So that's fantastic. Brings it in, dies to 2 Ice Beams. It is paralyzed, so it wasn't really that useful to him anyway. And it dies. And then he does this, which I really don't understand why he brought his Swoobat in. Maybe he thought he could outspeed me, or maybe he thought he could live. Doesn't make much sense to me because I was locked into Ice Beam and its Sheer Force boosted. I don't understand that at all, but I kill it, so that's good, I guess. And then here, he didn't know, if you switch Ditto in onto a Ditto that's transformed, it can't transform. So that's a bit of knowledge for you people using Ditto right now. If you switch Ditto into a transformed Ditto, it doesn't transform. So that's what happened to him. He obviously had to learn the hard way and switches back into a Suicune, which, in all honesty, he should have gone to this thing a hell of a lot earlier than he did. But, hey, he does go to it eventually. I actually land a crit there as he switches it in. But I'm not going to be staying in on the Suicune at all, so I'm going to switch Ditto straight out and go into something more appropriate to take it on, which just so happens to be my Amoonguss. And this is actually the perfect time to bring Amoonguss in because not only can I go for the Spore on him, I can also Giga Drain to get a bit of HP back, and then once that's kind of died down a bit and I've seen how much that does, I can switch back out again, get even more Regenerator health, come back in with full HP, and kind of be primed to take him on, as it were. So I do go for the, I think I go for the Giga Drain first, and then once I see how much it does, I decide to Spore, as I believe he either stays in or switches. But you know, that's going to happen, and I don't get as much HP as I would have liked to. It's a decent amount, I guess. But obviously, I'm outspeeding him, meaning that he is going to be roaring me out, and he roars me out into my Kajondo, which I can probably take this thing out with a high jump kick, and I guess he kind of sees that coming, so he's probably going to switch out and go to something that is most apt to take a high jump kick, in this case being the Nidoking, which does not take it kindly, I must say. I'm going to smack him right in the face with this. I believe I'm Life Orb. I might be Leftovers, actually. I can't quite remember. But I hit him with a Life Orb. It is Life Orb, high jump kick, and I'm going to be able to go for a second one, not get Eric Syndrome, and fortunately be able to hit them. So that works out. That was good. I get a crit on the second one for no particular reason other than, well, fuck you, Nidoking. So the great thing about Kajondo as well, or Mienshao, I don't even care. I'm just calling it Kajondo. I don't give a fuck. Is the fact it has Regenerator as well. So I can just switch this thing straight out and it'll be back at full health again. And, you know, do the Regenerator thing with Among Us and switch between them. It's kind of cool, I guess. But he actually goes to his Ditto now. And he has a little bit of the advantage here because now he can obviously kick me in the face with a high jump kick. Fortunately, though, I do have an Among Us on my team to combat him, and thanks to Regenerator, I'll be able to take 2 of those without too much trouble coming my way. So he is scarfed, he is locked into high jump kick, and though it is going to do a heavy amount of damage, leave me with 50 HP, I'll be able to hit him with a Spore, put him straight to sleep, and then Giga Drain on the switch. Now, what I could have done here is I could have gone for the Stun Spore on the switch, but if I'm perfectly honest, I wasn't sure as to whether he was going to switch Ditto out or keep it in. It was a bit of an issue that I wasn't really sure as to what was happening, but I decided to go for Giga Drain. And it makes sense, really, because he's going to go straight to his Houndoom to sponge that hit particularly well, because it is a Houndoom, and it can take those on very nicely. So he does that, and I am going to switch out here. Among Us can, you know, it's still good for Regenerator health. I'll still be at, like, a good amount of HP when I come back in, so there's no point in wasting the thing, especially when I still have Ditto on my team. Now, if he wanted to go for the Fire move, I can go straight into Ditto, get his Flash Fire from the Houndoom, and be primed to take him out with whatever move, like Dark Pulse, whatever he carries. He's actually going to be a sub-Nasty Plot set with Dark Pulse and Fire Blast, as I find out when I see his moveset. Another great thing about Ditto, of course, is the fact that you see your opponent's moveset. So you know exactly what they have as soon as you switch it in, which is fantastic, actually. Really makes a big difference. Very, very helpful. So he has a sub up. I'm actually going to be able to take it out with the Dark Pulse just because Houndoom special defense ain't too great. Even a resisted hit is not going to be able to live the sub with. So he nasty plots here, and I'm thinking maybe I can get a flinch. Maybe I can just straight take him out with the Dark Pulse. Not quite sure yet. Does a lot of damage, takes him down to the red, but unfortunately don't get the flinch, and he is actually going to be able to take me out with his Dark Pulse, owing to the fact that he of course has a nasty plot to back it up. But fortunately for me, he's actually carrying a Life Orb Houndoom. Kind of questionable because he is a substitute set. Usually not a good idea to carry Life Orb with substitute, so I guess he should probably change that up. But oh well, he goes down. It makes my job a lot easier. It means I don't have to work around a nasty plot boosted Houndoom for you know, a couple of turns or whatever. So I go into my Among Us knowing that Suicune is the most likely switch in, also knowing that if he went into his Ditto, Among Us would be a good thing to be locked into whatever move, because I could go into Heracross or into Gajondo, either of the two, and kind of abuse the thing, because if it is Choice Scarf locked into, I don't know, Spore, then it can't really do anything, can it? So I'm going to go for the Stun Spore here after I Spore his Suicune, predicting him to go switch out into his Ditto again, and unfortunately, you know, that's going to happen, and I have a feeling here that I've broken... No, he rested! What am I talking about? I didn't Spore him. I was like, wait a second, did I break Sleep Claws? Because his other thing's already asleep. No, I Stun Spored him as he rested, and he gets the Sleep Talk Raw. So there you go, that's what happened, actually. I'm being an idiot here. I'm going to sub up. Hopefully he doesn't get the Raw or the Scald. I just want him to get rest here, but he actually Sleep Talks and he gets the Scald in the end, I believe, which is going to allow him to take out the sub, unfortunately. But hey, that's what happens. It's Sleep Talk with those moves kind of works, I guess. It's a good combination, so At this point, I'm just going to be like, okay, I'll just Mega Horn, whatever. Mega Horn is kind of cool new animation, and I'm going to go close combat after that, just see how much I can do. Hopefully, actually, I don't want the Scald burning, because this is a Moxie Heracross. It's a Moxie Cross, so I don't want that happening. That would be bad. So I go for the close combat here, thinking that after the close combat, I should be able to bring in Mienshao and high jump kick him, and then after that, his Ditto is still asleep, so even though it comes in and transforms into Mienshao, it will not be able to live a high jump kick, especially because it won't be able to wake up on the first turn, just because of 5th gen sleep mechanics, as everyone knows. That's exactly what I do. I go straight into my shut up Snowflake, and I go for the high jump kick, take out the Suicune, and his last is of course the Ditto, which will transform into Mienshao. But fortunately for me, Mienshao's defenses are absolutely not good. Yes, absolutely not good. So I'm going to high jump kick him right in the face. I'm going to take him out. Don't miss. So that's brilliant. Fantabby-dozy. And we're looking good here. So that was the game. That was me finishing it off with the good old Mienshao. And, you know, Ditto doing a lot in that game. I've been using Ditto in pretty much every game I've had on Black 2 White 2 recently, just because it fits on every team and it isn't tiered yet. It hasn't been placed in any tier, so you can kind of just abuse it in any tier. And the funny thing about Ditto, it's only as good as the Pokemon it faces. It's only as good as the tier it's placed in. So it can naturally just be used in any tier. It's really weird like that. When you think about it, it can be placed in any tier. It's strange. So there you go. That's going to be that. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I have a Pokemosh Pit video going up tomorrow, so be sure to keep your lookout for the sub boxes if you're sub to Pokemosh Pit. If you're not sub to them, then I guess check out their channel tomorrow, and I'll have a video up there, and that'll be cool. So I'll see you guys then. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.